Hey guys, this is LYB Grimm here, and I'm back to bring you the second video in my how-to series. This is based off of the medium Dreadnought, the Voronezh, so let's get it started. Alright guys, the first build we got here is the frontline broadside build. This build will come with ballistic broadsides for nice up-close damage, decent range, and fast cooldowns. Your light torpedoes for nice close-range engagements. You're going to have anti-missile lasers to take care of disruptor missiles and any missiles coming at you in general. And armor amp, of course, for frontline tanking. We're going to go with Retaliator, Module Amper, Slow and Steady, and Get on My Good Sides for the officer briefings. Alright guys, and this is the second build. This is the frontline nuker build. This will have your Starling salvo, your light torpedoes, your anti-missile lasers, and your armor amp. You'll have Retaliator, Module Amper, Slow and Steady, and Get on My Good Sides. Now this build is for basically keeping the enemy team under pressure. Your nukes will be constantly popping all the repair pods and stuff like that inside of a heal ball, so this is great for taking on those heal ball fights. Alright guys, we take a look at my last build here. This is my personal favorite build. This is the frontline Purge team support build. We're going to have Tartarus missile, we're going to have light missiles, armor booster pulse, armor amp, Retaliator, weapons 101, slow and steady, and Get on My Good Side. Now obviously we have the Purge here to take care of the enemy team. Light missiles because they do decent damage and pretty quick and have a decent cooldown. Armor booster pulse is mainly for your team that's surrounding you and your squad support there, and then armor amp for yourself. We swap out module amper for weapons 101 because this build doesn't have a lot of modules to amp, and that way you do a lot more damage with your weapons, your primary and your secondary. Alright guys, we're going to jump into a match here with the frontline Purge support build. And so basically, I'm going to go ahead and skip to the gameplay here. And so the basis of this build is it's got Tartarus, and it's a frontline build. So you want to constantly start putting out Tartarus as much as possible. As you can see here, I'm throwing out my Tartarus on pretty much the majority of where their group is. And every time Tartarus cools down, you want to keep throwing it out there. You want to keep throwing it out there every chance you get, and try to aim it towards where the enemies are most concentrated. That way you can purge the most amount of targets with one purge nuke. And then pretty much start making my way into their line here as I'm putting out damage. And most of my team is moving up with me, so that's a really good bonus there. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of moving up here, keeping my side to them so I can utilize Get on My Good Sides energy briefing, the officer briefing for it. The energy gain is phenomenal. And going ahead and just throwing out modules, keep my armor booster on for my teammates so my teams can push up. My team can push up with me with that nice damage resistance, and really just put out some damage, start focusing down some targets. And that's pretty much the basis of the build. You want to keep the Tartarus going out. You're there for support. You're there to support them with the armor booster pulse, and you're there to support them with the constant purges, so targets can just start going down one after another. And I mean, that's how you want to run this build. You want to keep your sides to the target. That way you can utilize the officer briefing, Get on My Good Side. That's very important. That with Retaliator, while your shields are up, you're constantly cooling down your modules. And what I like to do is I like to run armor amp when I'm about full energy or half energy. Once armor amp cools down, then I like to use my shields, bring it back up, and then just kind of cycle in between the two. That way I have a nice little pool of energy to fall back on just in case I get disrupted or something like that. We pretty much cleared out that ball, and now the enemy team is respawning behind us, so now we're going to go ahead and turn and start pushing up on them again. And I mean, like I said, it's constant purge spam. I mean, that's pretty much what this build is great for. If you're on the front line, you're taking a lot of damage with your shields up, you're going to constantly get the cooldowns to just keep throwing out those Tartarus missiles. And those Tartarus missiles are going to pretty much debilitate the entire enemy team. And that makes it pretty much an easy game for your team to just go in there and mop up all these nice, easy kills. And so we're going to go ahead and keep pushing up right here. Start pushing up on their healer. As you can see, you get offensive support while armor booster pulse is up. If your team gets kills, you're going to get points off of the armor booster pulse, which is really nice. It's a nice little point gain right there. Also, being a Dread, you get a lot of tank XP, which is very nice. And so, I mean, that's pretty much the basis of the build here. As you can see, keep pushing up with your team. keep throwing out those Tartarus and keep your team up with that armor booster pulse, and keep cycling everything together with Retaliator. Get them a good sides combo to keep your energy nice and high and to keep your cooldowns constantly going down. So we're going to go ahead and skip to the end here, the end match screen, so I can kind of show you guys the results of this build. Alright guys, so we got the end of match screen here. You can see I had 2,010 points. It's a pretty efficient build. That's from tanking XP and offensive support. They're going to go ahead and see some accolades, damage output. I used a good bit of energy here. And that's because of Get on my good side, you're constantly getting that back, 9 kills, and you can see the stats here from the match. And thank you guys for watching the Voronezh guide, and I appreciate it. Thank you.